grab your journals. At the top, write lesson 9. Okay. All right. Do you remember in lesson 7 how if we had 100 divided by 0.3, do you remember that? And when you're dividing by a decimal, what do you have to do? 100 divided by 0.3, what do? You multiply by 10, right? Times by 10, times by 10, and then you get 1,000 divided by 3. Why do we do that? We do that so that this number isn't a decimal anymore. Is that right? Okay, so let's listen to this problem that we have. Are you ready? Sammy is running a lemonade stand. She decides to charge 45 cents per glass. Okay, so she's got there 45 cents per glass. Let's write that down. Okay. We have $2.85. So we have $2.85. How many glasses of lemonade could we buy? So we have $2.85. We're going to divide it by 0.45, 45 cents, so that we can see how many glasses we can buy. So let's rewrite this. 285 divided by 0.45. What do we need to do? Multiply by 10. So remember, if you're multiplying by 10, you go to the right with your decimal point. We look at our zeros. We've got 1 0. So we go over, we go over. So now we have 28.5 divided by 4.5. Is this number still a decimal? So what do we need to do? Multiply by another 10. Now let's move our decimal places over. So we get 285 divided by 45. Now, we saw at the beginning, we saw that we needed to move the decimal places 2 times. So what could we have multiplied instead of 10? Could we have just multiplied it by 100? Yeah, we could have. So you can always start by multiplying by 10 and then multiplying it by 10 as many times as you need to get the number to not be a decimal. Or you can see how many places you need to move the decimal and then multiply it by that number. Okay, now let's divide. 285 divided by 45. Okay. How many times does 45 go into 285? I'm going to say it's going to go in 6 times. Now we go 6 times 45. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 4 is 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay. 5, 1. Now, this is what we do when you're dividing numbers that are their decimal problems. What you do with the remainder, you don't just write 6 with a remainder of 15. That's not what you do. What you do, if you get a remainder, you pull down another 0 and you keep going. How many times does 45 go into 150? Should we say 3 times? 3 times 45. Let's write that out. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12, 13. 135. Okay, now let's subtract. 15 again. Well, we just did it. Let's pull down another 0. How many times is it going to go in? 3 times. Now, usually, you just need to do it about 2 times. If you're going to pull down a 0, you just pull down a 0 about 2 times. Now, go back to our number here. Where does the decimal go? Remember the problem? You had $2.85, and each cup of lemonade is 45 cents. Well, does it make sense that you're going to buy 633 cups of lemonade? No. What makes the most sense? How many cups of lemonade? 6 cups of lemonade, right? So you can buy 6.33 cups of lemonade. Okay? All right, let's do another one. Okay. Alrighty. Sophia went to the farmer's market with her family. She had $5. Okay, so you have $5. And she wanted to spend them on some peaches. Each peach cost 68 cents. How many peaches can she buy? So, let's rewrite this. Okay, we're dividing by a decimal. What do we need to do? Multiply by 10. Move the decimal place over. Did that make this number not a decimal, or is it still a decimal? It's still a decimal, right? So what do we need to do again? Multiply by 10 again. Let's move the decimal over. Is this number a decimal? So we can divide now. Okay, let's divide. Let's write it out. Okay, so it's 500 divided by 68. Okay, how many times are we going to guess 68 goes into 500? I'm going to guess 7 times. Should we multiply? Seven times 8 is 56. 6 times 7 is, wait, 6 times 7 is 40. 6 times 6 is 36. 42. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Okay. So 476. Did I do my math right? I don't know if I did my math right. So, we did this. Now, we're going to subtract 476. 500, take away 476. It equals 24. So now, we're dividing by decimals, remember? So that's our remainder. What do? We pull down a 0. Anytime you pull down a 0, the X answer is going to go after the decimal. Okay? 68. How many times does 68 go into 240? Let's try 3. Okay? So now 3 times by 68. 8 times 3 is 24. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20. Subtract. 10, 3. 10 take away 4 is 6. 3. Okay. We've got another remainder. Let's pull a 0 down. And remember, we're always just going to go 2 after the decimal. So we've got 1 after the decimal. How many times does 68 go into 360? Let's say 5. Okay. 5 times 68. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 6 is 30, 34, 340. And that equals 20. So we got 2 numbers after the decimal, so we're going to be done. Could we pull down another 0 here? Sure, we could, huh? We could pull down another 0 there. And could we keep going and get all the numbers after the decimal? Of course we could. But we're just going to stop with 2 numbers after the decimal. So let's look at a problem. Sophia went to the farmer's market. She had $5 and she wanted to spend it on peaches. Each peach cost 68 cents. So how many peaches did she buy? 7.35 peaches, right? Does that make sense? It does. You always want to make sure it makes sense.